Good morning, everybody. To start with, I would like to welcome on behalf of Government of Madhya Pradesh as well as MP Jal Nigam, Shri Ashok Kumar, Additional Secretary Government of India, uh, Shri Avinash Mishra, uh, Niti Aayog, then uh, uh, Mr. Raman from the Water Aid,
Okay.
and Mr. Shenoy uh, from Schneider Electric. So I hope that today the entire day is going to be very fruitful for the water sector in general and particularly for Jal Jeevan Mission. And there could not have been a more appropriate timing to organize this workshop when just 2 days later, on 2nd October, Honorable Prime Minister is going to have a dialogue with the village level committee, which is so crucial for the implementation of Jal Jeevan Mission. We call it the Village Water and Sanitation Committee. So on 2nd of October, Honorable Prime Minister is going to interact with few of the Gram Panchayats, and all of us are going to be participating in that event. And I would like to request all the participants who are participating in today's conclave also to kindly join that event, because that is going to be, we all will get an opportunity to hear our Honorable Prime Minister, who has on 15th of August 2019 uh, launched uh, such a useful and an ambitious mission. And all of us, we feel proud to be a part of this mission for implementation. So, with this initial dialogue, uh, I would like to uh, present before the August gathering the status of Jal Jeevan Mission and how we are going about it. And because our friends from the industries are also present in the today's conclave, what are the opportunities for them across the country, of course, but I would like to speak the opportunities which are available in particular in Madhya Pradesh. Next. So this, of course, everyone knows that when 15th of August, the mission was launched. At that time, of course, very few people might be familiar with the terminology called FHTC. But now this functional household tap connection. And if we look at it, I think every word has such uh, uh, such a uh, relevant meaning to the entire mission. Functional means the connection has to be, uh, that has to provide water, the potable water on a regular basis. Household tap means the tap connection will be within the household. So the rural household now, after the implementation of this mission, will not have to go out to fetch water. Now, the quantity which is being promised is 55 liters. This, of course, is the minimum one. Nothing prevents us from going more than this. So, Honorable Prime Minister has, of course, kept a target till 2024, but we are trying our best to complete it 1 year earlier. And though Madhya Pradesh started a little late, instead of 2019, we could start only in 2020, but we will try to achieve as much as possible by 2023. Next. Next, please. Yeah. So this is about the FHTC coverage, and which I think most of you must be aware, because I would like to actually convey my gratitude to the Ministry of Jal Shakti. The way this entire program has been chalked out and the way it is being implemented, and all the states, including Madhya Pradesh, we are getting the guidance from the national mission. And one good thing is that earlier also lots of government programs have been launched, but the preciseness as well as the transparency with which this project has been launched. And there, I'm sure some of you must be aware that Jal Jeevan Mission has a very comprehensive dashboard. It is known as JJM dashboard. So on that dashboard, every day, anybody, a common citizen, a villager, he can find out how many connections are there, how many connections took place in his village yesterday, and thereafter the district, the state. And if we talk about Madhya Pradesh, actually, when we started, our coverage was very low. It was hardly about, we had 17 lakh connections, but now we are close to around 41 lakhs, more than 41 lakhs. So if we talk in comparative term, we have to travel a lot of distance. We have to provide 122 lakh connections. But if you see the larger states, I would like to draw attention to all the participants. Though Madhya Pradesh is appearing, I'm not trying to justify the position of Madhya Pradesh, but if we talk about the, the seven large states which have to provide more than 100 lakh connections, which include Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, and Maharashtra. So, out of these four states, currently we are at number 4, and till now we have provided about 41 and a half lakh connection. Next. Now, this is how we have planned, and we are striving for that. Though, like the other activities, the incidence of corona that has affected our work in the field in the year 2021 and 21-22 also. In the first 3 months, the first 2 months were badly affected, but still we had kept a target of about 22 lakh connections this year, another 22 next year, and around 21 lakh connection in the 23-24. Next. Now this is just a pictorial uh, depiction of how different states, how different districts of Madhya Pradesh. We have got 52 districts, and if you see one of our districts called Burhanpur on the south side of the map, it is already 100% covered. In fact, we were about to declare this district as fully covered, and current, I think we'll be doing it in the first week of November, because currently elections have been notified there. And thereafter, there are two more districts, Darsinghpur and Indore. One district, of course, is on the north side, Niwadi. So these three districts also, we are actually striving to complete them 100% in this financial year. Next. Now, this is a very important slide. I think our friends from the industry would be quite excited to see about it. You see, uh, actually, whoever is familiar with the Jal Jeevan Mission would know that essentially there are two types of projects through which we take the household tap connection. We provide household tap connection. One is what we call it SVS, Single Village Scheme, where the water source is within the village, and we have a boring, and thereafter we provide either a sump well or a overhead tank, and thereafter by providing walls and different control equipment, we take the water to different households. This is, we call as the single village scheme. But these schemes can only be provided at places which have good water table, because wherever water table is not good, there, of course, it's not possible because in our state, Honorable Chief Minister, who is our incidentally the minister also, Minister for PHE, is holding that charge. So he has very clearly told that we will not have a single village scheme, that is a scheme which is based on underground water wherever water table is not good. So we want to provide a sustainable solution. Now, wherever the underground water is not good, what to do about that? So for that, we are doing multi-village scheme, and Mr. Tejaswi Naik, who is the managing director of Madhya Pradesh Jal Nigam, and Mr. Malvi, who is the project director. So these two officers who are sitting on my left and right, they are the ones who are actually looking after the implementation of multi-village schemes. Now these multi-village schemes, they take water either from the large, medium or small dams, and we construct an intake well there, or it could be a surface water. Surface water means there has to be a perennial source, a river, and you know, I would just like to give an idea as to what is the volume of these projects. You see, these multi-village projects, I mean, their cost varies in different. I mean, it could be as low as 150 crores, but it could be as high as around 1800 to 2000 crores. I mean, which will be catering more than 1000 villages. So these are large projects, and so if we total all this, which is there displayed on the screen, it is close to 34,000 crores. And you would agree, by no means it is a small progress which has been made by the state of Madhya Pradesh under the leadership of our chief minister and under uh, the uh, the overall guidance of government of India. And out of this, we have shown two categories. One which is under implementation, second is under proposed. So whatever is proposed, that is going to be tendered out in next 4 to 6 weeks. So out of these 34,000 crores, around 18,000 crore is something which is under implementation, and around 16,000 crore is something which is going to be tendered out. Next. Now, this is again the distribution of the scheme. So you will see that this multi-village scheme, we haven't shown the single village scheme on. They are there in, but generally these are I think called multi-village scheme. Multi-village. Now here, in addition to the schemes which are under execution and proposed, there are also 19 schemes which have already been successfully implemented, and they are under the operational and maintenance phase. So we don't just implement the projects. I think the project executor or the contractor, so to call, he undertakes the execution of the projects, and thereafter he also takes the responsibility of the maintenance of these water supply scheme, uh, that is for 10 years. And under the scheme of things of Jal Jeevan Mission, the bulk water handling would be done by these by Jal Nigam through these project executors, and within the village, the water distribution would be managed by village water and sanitation committees. And what this is what I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation, that this village water and sanitation committee is the key for implementation of Jal Jeevan Mission. Though implementation of the project itself is a challenge, but a greater challenge is to sustain these schemes once these projects are implemented. They have to ensure that the water supply is given timely, the water user charges are collected in time, and uh, uh, thereafter, I mean, the people, they feel the ownership of the scheme. That is what is the concept of. And then, of course, the quality. Quality is a very important aspect. I would like to tell you that under the Jal Jeevan Mission only, we have been successful in getting the accreditation done for our district level labs. So the mission doesn't talk about only taking the tap water to the household. It also wants to ensure that the water is potable. So whoever wants to get his water quality checked, and he can get it checked. At a later point of time, we are going to accredit our laboratories at a sub-district level. Now, I would like to come to as to what is the opportunity which is available for the industry. So, the major opportunity of these projects is for the pipe supplier. As most of you must be knowing that 50 to 60% of the cost of these projects is the pipelines, and major is HDP and then the DI pipe also. So, though the country has seen a steep rise in the costs of all these pipes because the demand has gone up exponentially because the projects has to be completed by 2024. So all the states, they are running against the time. So I mean the challenge here is that I would like to request all the pipe manufacturer also that they should be ready to provide quality product in the time frame which is been set uh, for the entire country to complete this mission. Then, of course, the electromechanical items, which includes pumps, motors, then, of course, the electrical equipments like switch gear, transformers, then the equipment which are used for water treatment process. And then I will also like to add to this the testing, the water testing, I mean, whatever systems can be applied to water testing. Then, of course, the chemicals which are for water treatment, and I mean, uh, not the least, the construction material which provides the basic framework, which is steel and cement. And let me tell you that this work, I mean, one of the important constituent of these projects are the overhead tanks, and they are quite specialized. I mean, they require a certain specialization uh, that the workman, the mason, not the normal mason, can do it, and it is very necessary to ensure quality for these overhead tanks because they have to be safe, they have to be sustainable. Next. This is what I told already that 18,000 crores worth of projects are already in progress. And I would like to rather invite and all the projects executors from across the country to be please get up for participating in the tenders which we are going to issue in the month of October. And then, of course, the 10 years operation and maintenance, which is so very crucial for these projects. So, it is an excellent opportunity to serve the society. In fact, I always tell my officers and colleagues who are partners with me and who are contributing, who are working day and night for this project, that this is, I'm sure we must have done some good work because of which we got this opportunity, because of which we got this opportunity to serve the society. Because I have seen, I have seen the households, the old ladies, I mean 70 years plus, who when the water reached their houses, I mean they were full of excitement and they were so happy. And another thing is, there is another aspect to this Jal Jeevan mission. You see, I strongly believe, when we used to implement projects like literacy mission, because in that is the great part of this administrative service, that we get lots of opportunities to serve in different sectors. So there we used to say that if we make a women literate, it is making the entire family literate. Likewise, if we provide a tap connection in the water, who is the biggest beneficiary? It is our women folk. Because I think you will agree with me that in every house, the work to fetch water is done by the either the lady of the house or the girls. So if the lady have the house, she has to go and fetch the water from a hand pump, or she has to get the water from a stand post. Then she misses the livelihood of that particular day. Likewise, if the girls, they have to go and fetch a water, they miss their schools. So one of the indirect benefit of this is that once the tap connection is provided, water connection is provided within the household, then these two, the ladies, the girls, they will not have to suffer from the livelihood. They will not have to suffer from the education. Another thing, you see, during the COVID time, we all have realized that the importance of social distancing. If the people crowd up at the hand pumps or the stand post, then there is a danger of, spread of the corona. Because despite the vaccination, despite the mask, I think it's very necessary to keep a social distancing. Another advantage of Jal Jeevan Mission, that when we go to the rural areas, now of course the National Health Mission has come. Now, few days back, Honorable Prime Minister has announced a very benevolent policy where the health card would be there, like Aadhaar card, and so of course the rural, both every citizen of the country would be covered for getting the benefit of these health cards. But if you see the data, there are lots of diseases. Majority of the diseases are waterborne diseases. So if we are able to provide the safe water in the household, we are not only saving our rural people from these diseases, but we are also saving their precious money, which otherwise would go for treatment of diseases. So it is a sort of a economic empowerment also. So these are all the trickle down advantages and effect of Jal Jeevan Mission. Next. Then, of course, other than the project executors, we need a lot of technical hand, the third party inspection, because Jal Jeevan Mission says and it stipulates that every work which is to be done, that has to be checked by an independent technical agency which is competent, and until unless it is cleared by them, the payment will not be done. So the third party inspection has to be done both at the state government level and the central government level. Then, of course, the departmental check, then the SQC, and then the quality certification by the independent agency. So all these types of checks and balances, they are there to ensure that the implementation is not only timely, but it is a quality implementation. Next. There is another scope to this, particularly in case of multi-village scheme. There is the expenditure on power is quite substantial. When we calculated, we found out that after the scheme is implemented and it is in the O&M phase, then 50 to 60% of the O&M charges, they have to be spent on energy. So if somehow we could have tie up with the solar energy using a RESCO model, that would definitely be environmental friendly, and also it will be reducing the cost of the energy charge. Then employment generation. You see, all these schemes which are being implemented, they generate so much of employment for plumbers, masons, electrician, and we are going to train more than 50,000 such people in the rural areas in next 3 months. Then implementation support agency. These are again the agencies. They are all reputed NGOs, and they basically enlighten, educate, and motivate people. Because you see, one of the very important concept in Jal Jeevan Mission is that whatever has to be spent on capex. Now, in case of single village scheme, 5% of that in the areas which are inhabited, or the villages which are inhabited by scheduled tribe and scheduled tribe people, they have to contribute 5%, and which is other areas, they have to contribute 10%. Rest of it is to be shared between state and center. And in case of multi-village scheme, we, in case for the bulk water supply, whatever arrangement is required, that is equally shared by state and center, and the rest of it, then the same arrangement of 5% and 10% quantity. Likewise, when the scheme is finally implemented, then the monthly charges have to be paid by the beneficiary. So, to motivate people, to educate them, to inculcate this feeling that whatever infrastructure is being created, that has to be uh, owned by the villagers. And finally, the village water and sanitation committees, the self-help groups. In the state of Madhya Pradesh, we have more than 5.5 lakh women self-help groups. So we are trying, through ISAs, we are trying to associate these self-help groups for the maintenance, and also uh, during the implementation in the exercise like RRA and PRA, so that people know what is happening. It should not happen like this, that a contractor comes from outside, he takes the contracts, he implements the scheme and goes away. It has to be a hand-holding and a cooperation of the local people while implementation, and thereafter it has to be a smooth handover to the local community. Next. So, if I talk about this financial year, as I told you, last financial year we had actually increased our coverage in the rural areas from 17% to 32%. Now, in this financial year, we are targeting to raise the coverage from 33% to half the population, more than 51%. Now, as I told you, that we are actually trying to do as much as possible by the end of 2023. Though now it appears that because of the slowdown which has happened because of COVID, it might spill beyond 2023 also. Another important part, and I would again like to give a reference to Honorable Prime Minister's program, which is on 2nd of October. Last year on 2nd of October, Honorable Prime Minister has actually flagged up the mission within the Sub Jal Jeevan mission, that we will provide 100% pipe water supply to all public institutions in the rural areas, Anganwadis, schools, ashram salas, public health centers, and the panchayats. So there are lots of states which have already covered 100% of the schools and Anganwadi. We will be covering it by 31st of December 2021. So I think this is something which is again very important, and this is a major transformation which our school children who are going to schools and small kids who are going to the Anganwadi, they are finding when they are going to the school post-COVID, when the schools are getting opened. Next. And this, of course, this is a percentage rise in the household tap connections since the launch of the project, that is 15th August 2019. Here again, I think these are the number of connections, not the percentage. So here again, as I told you, that we have done close to 28 lakhs. Next. And one very heartening thing which I would like to inform all those who are present. You see, for the project proponents, one of their worries is, particularly post-COVID, that if they come and participate in the tenders, are there sufficient financial resources? I would again like to thank Government of India that they have made this Jal Jeevan mission as a demand-driven mission. So any state which does better, he gets more funds. There is no paucity of funds. So as far as expenditure is concerned, in this financial year, last year we were second in the country. This year, till yesterday, we are number one in the country. So whatever, I mean, there is no shortage of funds either from the central government or from the state government. Next. So that's all, friends. Thank you so much for giving me a patient hearing. I'm sure uh, we are going to have a fruitful day today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sri Malay Srivastav, Additional Chief Secretary, Public Health Engineering Department, Government of Madhya Pradesh, the Chief Guest of 4th edition of Global Water Management Conclave, for not only setting the tone of the entire event, but also laying down the future plan of Madhya Pradesh government in terms of Jal Jeevan Mission and realizing the dream of taking drinking water to the last mile. You have said that your target is to cover all the villages by 2023 under FSTC, and you talked about that almost 15,000 crore will be tendered out by next few months. That's a huge opportunity for industry. You also talked about how this entire scheme of things will actually ensure women empowerment end of the day in the village economy, village social structure. And obviously, the success of multi-village scheme lies on this overall plan. And as you have said, that there's no dearth of fund, be it state government or central government. And as you have said, that you're calling out to industry that do participate in this upcoming tenders and make a difference in people's life. Thank you so much for sharing that point with us, sir.